Gedden Pennebaker from the PPSEG, or as we like to say it, the PPSEG. Matt, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. So what is the PPSEG aside from a mouthful and a half?
Yeah, it's a real unsexy name for what we consider to be a pretty important program. It stands for Paintball Players Safety Education Group. And basically what we are is a mentoring program that sets up new players and puts them in our safety culture that all of us have enjoyed for the last 10, 15 years out here in Texas. Uh, where we play, everybody's safe, but we keep getting these new guys that just, you can't keep goggles on them, you can't make them understand. And everybody always talks about, oh, somebody should do something about that. Somebody should put together some kind of program, but no one ever does anything. So this is a player-run, player-regulated, positive peer pressure kind of system where we get these new guys in and we teach them the right way and get them set up on the right path. Because, I don't know, we got into some statistics and found that if you do a little digging, 9 out of 10 of these paintball accidents you always read about are always happening in an unregulated setting. And
And that makes it bad for all of us too.
right,
All it takes is one jackhole to get his eye shot out when he's playing in the backwoods and he bought a Walmart, Splatmaster that's never been chronoed using monster
right.
balls or whatever. And I was like, oh, I know paintball. That's you crazy yahoos. Oh, I
Right.
don't
Well,
want
see,
my kid.
I'm a field manager for a paintball park, and so I deal with it on a daily basis,
Oh God.
and having to work with these guys, and I know the need is there, just from the amount of effort we have to put into our new players, and sometimes it's not even the new players; it's the experienced, backyard baller that is the worst, because they've been playing paintball for ages, and they know what's safe and what's not, because they've never managed to hurt themselves yet. And they're the ones that are pulling gogs as soon as the game's over. They
Ugh.
won't put their barrel sock on in the staging area. Simple stuff like that. So it lets me know that the need was there. And so we've just I don't know, about a year ago, me and my team, I play for Team Blackwatch out here in Texas. We started talking about, well, we're the guys that are always ref in these big games. We're the guys that people look to for safety. Let's form the organization and put it together. So we put this thing together, and we've been building the idea and getting prepared to build the infrastructure for about the last 10 to 12 months. And we're finally in a position where we actually want to do this for real and put it together for real. And so we're assembling the folks, putting the word out, and we need to build a better website. We've got a lot of things on our to-do list, but it's here, and things are moving.
Well, just sort of like what Tom was saying too, the technology is amazing because all you have to do is go to WordPress and find a little template, and you see a lot of these websites, and they're all just modified blog sites. Very simple, pretty easy to update on a whim and at a moment's notice, but they look sexy and they're clean, and they're not like the beginnings of the internet in 1992 when everybody had a Yahoo site and they were full of little annoying animated GIFs or the Angel Fire sites or whatever those.
Right, and that's kind of where we're at right now with the PPSEG's current site. Really, what we're pushing is our pro boards. We have a ppseg.proboards.com message board, and we'll probably register a domain, but I'll get that out there as soon as we know what it'll be. PPSEG, hard to say, hard to remember. We've got to come up with something a little better than that for marketing purposes, but that's what the organization is. We're wanting to actually go the full deal route, not a 501c3 nonprofit, where there's a lot of work. I did not
Oh
realize how
yeah.
much work is involved in doing that, but it's a lot of work, and there's just a few of us so far that are truly dedicated to the program. I've got stores and fields that have been emailing me for months saying, when is this going to go? When is this going to go? It's going right
Nice.
now.
Yeah, it'd probably be a little bit easier just to become a church than it would to become a nonprofit.
No kidding.
Then you can probably give kids wine. It's religious. That's okay. But so what is your end result, or what would you like the PPSEG to be? I mean, we've heard this many times over. Paintball is, fortunately and unfortunately, unlike any other sport out there. There is no one governing body. There is no
Right.
standard set of rules. It's pretty much just everybody's come together, and we've decided you don't remove your goggles. You chrono under 280. You got all this other stuff, but if you don't do it, or if someone has a field out there, Joe Bob's field and bait and tackle, then he's gonna. I don't care. you can wear a safety glasses, you can wear sunglasses, just so long as they're good sunglasses. You buy them for me $5, then no one's going to come through. We're going to revoke your license. And so
you just hit the nail on the head for us. I keep up with some of this legislature that floats around in different parts of the country where they're wanting to put stiffer and stiffer regulations on fields, and most of the things that they're suggesting that we make mandatory, I would agree with. The only thing is I don't really agree with giving regulatory authority over the sport to like someone who's not paintball oriented. So this is really a chance for the players to come together and prove that we can self-regulate, through some positive player action with stores, fields, renegade players, any group of paintball players or potential players that we can come together with and really show everybody we don't need outside influence. We can come together, get on the same page ourselves. And that's one of the things with the internet. We're looking at putting together a complete online training system to train our instructor folks. We want to do an instructor-led course that's free, nonprofit. Take these new guys out there, show them the ropes, and get them into the sport the proper way.
A couple of the links that you do have at your site, one's become an instructor, and I clicked on that, and is an email license. And then the other one is find an instructor. So you can actually go ahead and find someone who's gone through and done it and has been, officially stamped by the PPSEG as okay to let little kids shoot Nada toys at each other.
Something like that. We've got some instructors that are going through it right now. Right now, if you click on the Find an Instructor, it probably just reloads the page. I have that disabled. But it should be up really soon. And if you're interested in being one of those people for your area, you need to get in touch with me right away, and we'll get you in on the next shipment of instructors. We're kind of churning them out right now, trying to set them together. I've got several people signed up, ready to go.
What does it take to become an instructor? I mean, do I have to have a clipboard, a number 2 pencil? Is it going to be a multiple choice test, or is it more common sense stuff? Is what person appropriately named Gideon's mom says, it's called common sense, people. And it seems to be that some of the old folks who've been, I've been doing this since 1975. I used to shoot cows in trees. I can shoot people. You don't tell me what to do. Who the F are you? Blah, 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 sort of thing. Going to be the ones that's going to be hard to change. People who play paintball and don't give an F if anybody else doesn't. It's my game. You're not going to tell me how to play my game.
I think we've realized as our organization has come together and we've talked to a lot of players, we've really saturated the player body with questions just in who we could get to in multiple states. We play events in multiple states, and the general consensus is we're probably not going to change the attitudes of those set in their ways people, which is why our program is aimed at young players and potential players, public awareness, and raising the general attitude and acceptance of paintball. By the general public, and getting those moms and dads involved with their 13, 14-year-old kids instead of just dumping them off at the paintball park or sending them to Bobby's house to play, and get them to understand, what to come to expect from a store, a field, a person, a player when paintball is played.
Mm-hmm. But then again, Slick brings up a good point as well, that yaks will be yaks and D-bags will be D-bags, and you can only go so far, and someone's going to be a jackhole about it, then that's fine. You go ahead and you can shoot yourself in the face, but at least when it comes down to it, Tom was running up he was doing a lot of great work trying to get people together and having a forum where you hear bad news, we can come in as a sport and say, they don't represent us. Yeah. If you were officially stamped with all these seals of approval and all this other stuff, then you could get pissed because that's the sport okaying what they're doing. But otherwise, you can just say, hey, man, the old adage I tended to say when I was writing for Paintball Sports Mag was how many porta potties get tipped over and how many mailboxes get beat up by baseball bats, where you're not going to go ahead and outlaw baseball because people are knocking over stuff with baseball bats or beating each other up with them. Same thing with paintball guns. Question, gun or marker?
I say marker until I get with the old guys and then it's gun. So I'll be honest.